This is an episode of Listening to Canberra Voices. The podcast is part of a series made by students from the University of Canberra, made in 2023 by students of the Faculty of Arts and Design. We would like to start the episode by acknowledging the Ngunnawal and Ngambri people, who are the traditional custodians of the land that we are recording on. I'm your host today, Sophie. Today we've also got Joan producing.
Hello.
And Rosie editing.
Hello.
All right, thank you. That's our team. Welcome to our podcast today. We're going to be talking about Senada's story. We have Senada Meskin here, who is a faculty member of the Faculty of Arts and Design here at the University. Also a Ph.D. candidate who has recently won the 3 Minute Thesis competition. Welcome, Senada.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure.
So first of all, I was just wondering if you would be able to explain a little bit about the 3 Minute Thesis competition. Before getting into your research, what is it if people aren't familiar with it?
So 3 Minute Thesis is a competition that was originally created by the University of Queensland. But the point of it is to teach PhD students how to communicate their research within 3 minutes. PhD is excruciating progress. It takes 4 years to put together a minimum of 80,000 words, and a lot of those books end up collecting dust in the libraries, and all of them are amazing research. So 3 minutes actually helps us to hook audience and give them a small window into what we are doing, so we would build up the interest for them to come and check it out.
That sounds both a very practical endeavour, but also a very difficult one.
Absolutely.
We've been told that it's notoriously difficult for PhD candidates to summarise their research, considering how involved it is. Without necessarily doing the whole 3 minute spiel, how would you summarise the content of your research?
Personal. That would be one word that I'm describing my research, but it is personal because I'm writing about women like me. I'm researching employment experiences of Muslim women in Australia, and I know that research and study that has been done till now does not give us justice, particularly from the perspective of us being members of the professional groups and achieving successes in different industries, because I think I belong in that group of professionals who are striving to be successful. I know that I have a sort of obligation to do more justice to women who belong with me in that group.
Absolutely. I think that personal does sound like a really good word to describe it. What's the reaction been on a personal level from the people around you, from Muslim women in your life in regards to the research?
When I first started talking about my research with people around within the community, my fellow Muslim women, there was this excitement going around because we are very much aware of the stereotypes that go through the communities in respect to Muslim women. We are often, and this is acknowledged by the academic research, described as timid, family-orientated, overly religious, not willing to really adapt to the society, and that is very much based on what we wear, how we dress, and how we are perceived. And knowing from my experience, from the experience of women that surrounds me, we know that it's not truth, because Muslim women are present at universities, they're working in healthcare, they can be your next nurse, your next GP, engineers, researchers. I had one of my participants is actually quite successful podcast person, and she's a business owner. So we are everywhere, but there is a lack of acknowledgements of our presence in the professional worlds. So they were quite excited when I was telling them about what I want to write about, because honestly, everybody was sick and tired of listening of how, poor we are and managed and living in misogynic conditions and overly submissive and timid, because we knew we were not.
Wow, thank you for your answer. I think that you can really tell the power that research has in giving light to different voices and in changing stereotypes, providing positive representation. Given, as we keep saying, the personal nature of your work, how did it feel to win the competition on something that means so much to you and for the people around you?
It was absolutely amazing. I did not expect it, to be honest, And I was amazed by all the research that was presented on that day. And this feeling only increased once I got to the finals and I saw these line of amazing women. By the way, all women finalists. That's something that we should talk about as well, which is absolutely amazing. When I listened to all the research that was done by these amazing female researchers at the University of Canberra, I did not expect to win. I was thinking, okay, I believe in my research. I know what I'm doing. I'm happy to be part of the process, and I really am not hopeful that I will win. I will be happy whoever won. So, but when that happened, I felt acknowledged. I felt that my story is heard. And although I am a part of Faculty of Arts and Design, and by the way, I'm the first FAD winner. We never had a winner with the Faculty of Arts and Design. So I was thinking, like, as a first FAD winner, and I won with such a personal story, I was thinking, this is so amazing. This is the acknowledgement that I was wishing to happen. It's just a sort of a boost to better and to write more and hopefully finish it. So I'm very ecstatic and very happy about it.
I think it's really interesting. You've mentioned aspirations for academia, your aspirations for many different options in your career. Mm-hmm. I just am curious to know what sort of challenges you think you have in conveying the content of your thesis to the general community, because, in the academic communities, it's a little bit different. And I think part of the interest of the thesis program is communicating that information to lay people. Mm-hmm. So how do you think we can kind of better practically educate Australian society?
Yeah, so that's actually the point of 3 Minute Thesis. 3 Minute Thesis is run for Ph.D. within the university, but it very much uses the language that a regular individuals would understand. We are encouraged to talk about thesis as it is a story without using heavy terms. And the goal is that to make our research closer to people who might not understand the heavy language of academic writing, because believe me, even us sometimes get confused with all the paragraphs when we read them. It is what it is. It's the form of expression. So 3 Minute Thesis is a way that trains us how to communicate that. But also there needs to be an interest within the community to learn more. And I believe I am particularly lucky for living in Canberra. Canberra is one of the best places to explore any type of research, and in particular research that relates to multi-religious aspects of communities and multiculturalism within the society. Because Canberrans are known to be very accepting and very willing to learn and develop themselves. They don't call Canberra bubble for nothing, because we are very rarely touched by the ugliness of Islamophobia, racism, or other forms of discrimination, as much as cities like Brisbane, Melbourne, or Sydney are. Because if you watch news, you can hear incidents. But I don't think I've ever heard anything happening in Canberra. So I think Canberra is a good ground for me to start, encouraging, and hopefully spread.
Oh, thank you so much. It's fantastic to hear some love for Canberra. So what has your experiences been like in, other places that you've lived?
Mm-hmm. So I have to be honest. I've been quite lucky when it comes to living in places that are very supportive of who I am as a person. And for those of you who don't see me or don't know me, I'm very much visibly religious. People do not have any doubts when they see me walking the street of what religion I belong to. And I have to say that, and I repeat again, I've been lucky to live in spaces and areas where my religious expression was accepted in a very positive way, mostly because I come from Bosnia. So Bosnia is sort of have a 50% or more Muslim population. I was born Muslim. Then I lived in Indonesia for 13 years where my headscarf was celebrated. The way they have embraced religion, it's absolutely beautiful. Women in Indonesia are very well educated, but also religious in all aspects. And then I moved to Canberra in 2014. And then I like I said before, Canberra is a beautiful place to be if you belong to minority groups, the acceptance of population. One very beautiful thing that happened to me is after a horrific incident of Christchurch, I went to a local grocery store and an older woman came to me and hugged me and apologized. And I was thinking, like, you don't have to apologize. But I've just understood the sentiment of the lady letting me know that I'm welcome, people like me are welcome. And that's what I love about Canberra. So to say that I have had experience that are negative, absolutely not. But did I have participants who have expressed such experiences? Yes, because my research goes to Sydney and Melbourne as well, with participants from different cities. So they did express discrimination they've experienced, but that the way they've handled the situations is absolutely marvelous. And that's what I'm trying to also put down in my research, is that if a Muslim woman who is visibly religious still works in a professional environment, that she has had experience of discrimination, that means that she has done something that many other women are afraid to do. And actually she's thriving in it. But she is a physiotherapist, and she had incidents where patients refused to be treated by her because of her religious appearance. But one good thing is that she was supported by her workplace, and also she was able to thrive.
I'd like to just bring it back a little bit to your professional experiences. Can you just give us a little bit more context on your education, your background, how you sort of found yourself getting into academia?
I'll start from the beginning.
Yeah, please.
When I was a very young girl, no, not that far, I enrolled law school in Sarajevo in Bosnia, and I was in my third year when I met my husband, who is an Indonesian. And I moved to Indonesia without graduating. So I was a full-time housewife and a mother of three for full on 10 years. And then I've joined law school in Indonesia, and I graduated in 2014, just before I was to come to Australia. And I remember my husband pushed me to study. I said, I'm really comfortable being a housewife. He said, no, you should go and study. I promised you, your mom. He's a very good husband, that one.
Oh, very supportive.
I hope he doesn't regret. I never stopped studying after that. So I've graduated with honors from law school in Indonesia, in Malang, East Java, in 2014. And then I've done my Masters of International Law from ANU in 2016-17. And then I did Masters of International Development at UC. And then I've joined Ph.D. at UC. After I finished my coursework of international development, I've joined Ph.D. So that would be the sum up my education. But I've worked in different environments, but most of those were a part of the university settings, because my desire is, as an educator, it's to teach and to make people's lives better, and to help them understand more about knowledge and importance of knowledge. It's not that much about grades that you're getting as much as it is understanding that you are acquiring while you are in the classroom with me. So I've taught international law for a semester at ANU. Since I started my PhD, I've been actively teaching global studies and international development studies, but also professional development courses. But beyond that, also I work as a work integrated learning advisor with the Careers UC. So it's a lot of small hats that I'm having at this moment, but they're very much interconnected and in line with what I'm studying, and that is the research of employment experiences of minority groups, of how to better their lives, and where I'm going in the direction that I'm heading. So hopefully ending up in academia that I said would come true, but also the ideas and desires that I have outside of that and would also come to fruition at one point.
Fantastic. I think that's a great answer, and it sounds like you've had a very illustrious career and it's very inspiring seeing you've moved Indonesia, your experience as well as a mother, lots of hats.
Lots of hats.
Absolutely. Well, I think that should just about wrap us up. Is there, just in closing remarks, are there any pieces of advice that you can give to, I know you said you're not exclusively focusing on minority women, but given the nature of your research, is there a final piece of advice that you can provide to women looking to achieve in the academic space or just their workplaces in general?
Sure. Get rid of your fear. Not just Muslim women, but all women in general. We do have a lot of obstacles in front of us when it comes to seeking professional acknowledgements in fields that we are passionate about. Some of those are real hurdles that are in front of us based on our gender, and others are fictive fruits of our imaginations that we have forced ourselves to believe that it's going to be like that because I'm a woman, or it's going to be like that because I belong to this group, or it's going to be like that because of it. And that is all fear-based. Get rid of your fear and step into the light. What can happen? Failure is good because it teaches you something.
That is great advice, also from a winner. But it's true, there's a duality there. But,
absolutely.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Senada. This has
welcome.
been fantastic and we really appreciate your time. Good luck with your future endeavours. I'm sure you won't need it.
Everybody needs luck.
Thank
Thank you.